On day 35 of this government shutdown. It is 6:47 on a Tuesday morning. I woke up because I cannot sleep, and I'm at the point now where I am literally physically making myself sick. I've lost 20 pounds since the shutdown. A month has started, and I'm tired, and I know we're tired. I keep looking at the news, and I see nothing about us furloughed federal employees. I see nothing. I see no uproar. I see no help. No signs of help coming. We are fully employed people who are not getting a paycheck. Some of us are going in. Some of us are having to go in and work with an IOU, but these bills aren't IOU. The food's not IOU. The kids' stomachs are IOU. Nothing is IOU. And there's no end in sight with talk that it's going to go through the holidays. How are we supposed to survive? We don't get benefits. We don't get help. Everybody says, your back pay. Your back pay. When? If we get back pay, when? That doesn't help us now. Use your savings. You don't think that's what people are doing, y'all, but that only lasts so long. In this economy, that only lasts so long. Why are we the villains in this story? Where's the uproar about what's happening to us, y'all? Where's the uproar? This is why I won't sit here and be quiet. We're on day 35. We're about to officially pass the longest shutdown in history with no end in sight. So I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not talking about it because nobody else is talking about it enough.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone while I learned his truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is the American dream is over. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening video how the lady, she was very concerned about this government shutdown, and also she's, stressing out, and also she's about to crash out, because they're not getting paid, So this is day 36 or 37 of this government shutdown. And also we're seeing that now tension is rising. We're seeing that a lot of anxieties, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of depression is setting in left and right. So a lot of people right now don't know what they're going to do. A lot of people right now don't know how they're going to pay their bills. They don't know how they're going to feed their families. A lot of things is going on. And also we knowing about the stamp benefit once again, saying that he was going to pay them. Now they're saying that they're not going to release any funds. So it's a lot of things going back and forth. But this is all by design, but by who? Yahweh, by Shem Shai, not by the so-called modern day so-called white man. So we saying right now that the American dream is over. And so I pulled up a quick Google search of quick definition of the phrase of the American dream. What does it mean? It says here, the ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved. So right now, we're not seeing that right now. We're seeing that America is on a sharp decline. We're seeing right now a dark forecast. And a lot of things right now are looking very dim. We're seeing that we're having we on the verge of a major collapse, and also there's already rumors are surfing right now that this is a reset. So these things are happening right before our eyes. So let's get a little deeper meaning of the American dream, a little bit more of this meaning, a little bit what is a simple definition of American dream. It says here the American dream is the belief that anyone in the U.S. can achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and intentive, regardless of their background. Said it is a set of ideals centered on opportunity. Said upwards social mobility and the pursuit of happiness. Said often symbolized said by achieving financial security, home ownership, and a better future for one children. So we seeing right now all these things right now are pretty much are gone. You know, we already knowing about how the job market is looking. You know, a lot of people are constantly losing their jobs, and also we seeing that this AI takeover is happening very quickly, and also we know that they're constantly putting this new digital infrastructure into place, and also we know right now that a lot of people now are very tensed up. A lot of people are very angry right now. So we're seeing that the spirit, it's changing, all around us, so people right now, things at any given time, things can be set off, all hell can break loose. So right now, this lady was saying that she didn't know how she was going to make it uh, during this government shutdown. Also, she was saying about, a lot of people may have savings, but they're going to be depleted. What are they going to do after that? And it's saying that no one is talking about it. Yeah, someone is talking about it, or the prophet. We're telling you what these times was coming upon you. Hard times are coming, perilous times are upon us. And one thing about it, a lot of people right now are getting tested. A lot of people are getting tried. And one thing about it, a lot of people are going to crumble like a cookie. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're going to introduce this grain of rice, this universal basic income. So, so they're setting the stage for this reset. And also we seeing that America is on a sharp decline. We seeing it's on its way out. So the American dream is over. That's what it comes to seeing each and every day. So also we knowing about these flights are being grounded because they don't have any what they call these air controllers, one that direct the plane in, so a lot of these things are happening. These essential workers, they're also I think DJ Donald Trump was threatening them if they did not come to work, that he was going to, I think he said fire them and something else. I can't remember. But anyway, we seeing that these things are all been set into place. We seeing right now that it's no more American dream, no more prosperity in America. This place is going out of business. You know what I'm saying? We would have healed Babylon, but she would not be healed. So the Lord is constantly getting ready to bring forth judgment upon America, Babylon the Great. This place is finished. It's not coming back. Nothing is going back the same. And everybody, a lot of people think that there was a good case, but we're seeing that this man is constantly, slowly taking all your benefits away from you. And also, I had rumors that they're getting ready next month to cut Social Security, and disabled people's benefits. So we seeing this thing is getting ready to spiral out of control. Jacob's trouble is at the door, and pretty much everyone is getting ready to feel the effects. We seeing it right now. This lady right here, she's crying, and this and that. It's going to be a whole lot of crying and weeping. And the Lord, I think it's in Zephaniah, whereby it said that the strong man, will be, will be travailing like a woman with child. It's on something of that effect. But anyway, we see it right here that the American dream is done. America is done. All the prosperity, all the trying to have an opportunity, all these things are gone down the drain. Even though people are still right now, are still eating right now. They still have a sense of normalcy right now. But we know that these things are going to constantly and dry up. We already knowing right now about this stamp deal right now. Right now, people are pretty much right now trying to figure out what the government is going to do, which in fact, I don't think they're going to do a damn thing. This thing's going to get worse and worse. So they're setting the stage. They're not going to let this crisis go to waste. We already know what happened back in 2020, with the C-19. So right now, they have the green light. This is the real deal right here. So we seeing now that, like all these, you don't hear anything from these mega supporters talking make America great again, because right now they in desperation right now. She probably was one of those mega supporter. I'm not talking about the lady, and wish her well. But one thing about it is that we know that things are not going to be well right now. So we getting ready to go through a time of trouble that we've never seen before. And I about, if the Lord is not on your side, you're going to be unalive once again. Great tribulation, great sorrows, great mournings. These things are fast approaching. And one thing about it, we seeing now a lot of people are realizing that America is finished. A lot of people are realizing that things are not going back the same. A lot of people are realizing that this place is finished. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, a lot of sorrows, a lot of death and destruction, food shortage, rolling blackouts, a lot of things that getting ready to happen, man. That's what we constantly warn you about. So we're here, and also any given day, we could be right upon a recession or economic collapse like we have never seen before. So, the stage is set. So we already know that they got to crash this old system and bring in the new system. Also this is going to work hand in hand with this fourth industrial revolution, all this new technology that they get ready to come into play. So we see it right now that, that lady, she would very, say, I don't know why they're not talking about it. Why they're not doing anything for us, but this is all by design. And also we're not ignorant of Satan's device. These things are here. It is at the door. And one thing about it is that we knowing now that, it's a lot of distractions. They'll do something over here and they'll constantly be doing something over there, so I'm seeing right now that, the war drums are beating. So everything is set into motion. So any given day, something major can go down. We know that it's going to go down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. We know that we're very close. Jacob's trouble is at the door. It has begun. Also, we're at the beginning stages of World War III, and also the implementation of the MOTB. These things are here at the door. So there's more sorrows to come. We're in the birth pain. So now let's go here and get a quick precept. I have some more videos too to bring it out with a little bit more edification. So let's start here. It says here, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1, it said, remember now thy creator in the day of thy youth. So while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh or near. So when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So right now, you got to remember the creator. Who is that? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, in the day of thy youth, when you are young, when you're vigorous, when things are going very well. It's time, to seek the Lord. Seek the Lord while he can be found. Seek the Lord. It's time, And one thing about it, before what? The evil day come, So right now we read upon these evil days, sorrows, great mourning, a lot of things are getting ready to come, a lot of people are getting ready, are feeling the effects right now, getting a reality check. And it says here that you will have no pleasure in them, So right now, this lady's not having any pleasure in these things. She used to, everything is going her way, I begin to see that, a lot of people like to, have the American dream is like, you get your wife and family, you get you a home and a dog, your vehicles, then, you live happy ever after. But, those, that is, that right there is a very delusional. Right now, things are getting ready to spiral out of control. A lot of people are going to be homeless. A lot of people are going to have nothing to eat. No clothing, nowhere to go. You can't get their medication. The list go on. And one thing about it, all hell is getting ready to break loose. So we see it right now. Also, it's kind of remind me of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7, that the Lord is putting the curses on these, slowly putting the curses on the other nations. But we know these curses will be upon us until the Lord great and glorious return. But we see that the Lord is turning the tables. We seeing right now, this, things are constantly changing. We're seeing that a lot of people are getting ready to go through life-changing events. A lot of people are not going to make it. They are the 2/3. They're not going to make it on this side. They're going to be, perish on this side. It says here, verse 2 said, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3 said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the window are darkened. So right here, the keepers of the house are trembling right now. You know what I'm saying? These financial advisors, these stockbrokers and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're seeing that dark forecast. They're seeing that sharp decline in the economy. And things are not turning around. Things are not going back to same. Things are not looking good. You know what I'm saying? Also said the strong men shall bow themselves. You know what I'm saying? Who is the strong men? He's talking about these one percenters. You know what I'm saying? These global elites. You know, they right now they seeing it too, but they're going to benefit from it, but not for long. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord, you know, He gonna return. You know what I'm saying? We know that they're gonna flee through these bunkers. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, we're here. You know what I'm saying? But we know one thing that they're setting the stage for total chaos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, order out of chaos. Salakia. We see it right here. It said the grinders cease because they are few. What is few? Talking about these jobs. You know what I'm saying? You know, they go into the grinding. You know what I'm saying? Going into employment. You know, working. You know what I'm saying? You know, things are flourishing, but we seeing it's not flourishing anymore. Things are diminishing. You know what I'm saying? Things are very dark. A very dark forecast right now. Exactly what we're seeing right now. These things are happening right before our eyes, man. I'm telling you, man, these things are looking very let's read this in the NLT. I never read it in the NLT. It said, remember him before your legs said the guards of your house start to tremble. It said, and before your shoulders, the strong men stoop. Said, remember him before your teeth. Say, your few remaining servants stop grinding, and before your eyes, the women's looking through the windows see dimly. So, you know, right there, it's okay, but it kind of goes off a little bit, but it's, you know, we understand what it's saying. So we seeing that the grinding is ceasing. We're seeing that they're laying off at these jobs. We're seeing that AI is taking over. Also, we know that the people are laid off. They don't have a job. They don't know what they're going to do. You know, they you know, pretty much people right now is on crash out season. So we're at the beginning of crash out season. A lot of people are getting ready to bug out. A lot of people getting ready to clash out. A lot of people getting ready to retaliate, you know, to retaliate. That's exactly what they want, you know, so they can bring in the military and bring forward martial law, you know. So that's where we at right now. These things are here. It said, verse 4 said, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. So when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So right here it says, and the doors in the street shall it said, and the doors shall be shut in the street. So we seeing a lot of these major businesses are closing down. You know, it's shutting down. America, the government shutting down. So a lot of these things are closing down, going out of business. You know, so we seeing that right now that, you know, everything is constantly drying up. We're seeing that things are on a decline. We're seeing the vibration is changing. A lot of things that happen. The grinding is low. So, you know, the hustle and the bustle of the city, you know, the economy, everything is low right now. You know, it's what I want to say is it's something I want to say. I can't remember right now. Got a little brain fog. So lucky for that. But anyway, we're seeing right now that it's a dark forecast. We're seeing that things are not going back the same. Things are getting worse and worse. We're seeing right now that a lot of people, you know, they're going to wake up in the morning and they're going to see, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do anymore. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do for me? How am I going to take care of this or take care of that? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people worried about their bills. A lot of people worried about how they going to take care of their family. You know what I'm saying? Well, some people are worried about their finance, their resources, and different things like that. They want to how they going to maintain these things. And the way we going to maintain things is through Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So we're not worried about our home. We're not worried about our jobs. We're not worried about our family. We already know that the Lord said whatever we lose on this side, we will get 100-fold. So we see it right now that the American dream is finished. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, you know, flee out of the midst of Babylon. This place is finished. You know, this place is polluted. This is not your rest. So a lot of people are trying to hold on to this nightmare. And this nightmare is over. So now, let's go here back to the videos. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
It should make you mad that you wake up tired and still have to drag yourself up out of bed. Mad that before your feet even hit the floor, you owe somebody money. Mad that your first thought of the day ain't peace, it's panic. Mad that you gotta check your balance before you buy breakfast. Mad that you're doing everything that you're supposed to and somehow it's still not enough. It should make you mad that you go to work every day and still feel broke. Mad that you clock in, give them your body, your mind, your time, and at the end of the month, it all disappears. Mad that the price of food goes up every week, but your pay does not move. Mad that you worked overtime and still had to choose between gas and groceries. Mad that a trip to the store feels like robbery and a day off feels like a dream. It should make you mad that you worked all year just to help pay for somebody else's bonus. Mad that you can't afford Christmas for your kids, but your boss just bought a new boat. Mad that when business slows down, they cut your hours. But when profits go up, they forget your name. It should make you mad that you can work your whole life and still die in debt. Mad that your parents did it, and now you're doing it too. Mad that they called it the American dream, but all it did was have you chasing something that you cannot catch. Mad because it's gonna reopen. I think we are seeing the dissolvification. You know what I mean? I know that's not the word. Our government is currently dissolving in front of our eyes. People are not getting paid. People are losing their government jobs. There's no incentive for him to open for anyone on the red side to open the government right now. There's really no incentive. So I don't think they're going to do it. I would not be surprised if we go until Thanksgiving and we still don't have a government open, which means traveling for the holidays, TSA. Literally, I would not be surprised if just all flights are canceled and we're just grounded, like back in the COVID days. Like, that's where this is heading. This is historic, unprecedented times, and there is no sign whatsoever of any Republican challenging him or, like, they're not going back to their constituents right now. They're not having town halls. Like, our government is dissolving right in front of our eyes, and buckle up.
We are in a recession. Let me repeat that. We are in a recession. 22 out of 50 states are in a recession and, quote, hanging on by their fingertips. You know it, I know it. A recession always happens before it's announced. 6% unemployment in Washington. Groceries are up 29%. We lost over 1 million jobs this year. We have negative jobs available for the people unemployed. 4.3% average unemployment before the government shutdown. Day 9, 2.3 million people are not getting paid. This is not going to be just a recession. This is going to be a self-inflicted depression. You cannot have this economic catastrophe that we already have, self-inflicted, and then cut off the paycheck of 2.3 million federal workers who will not be spending money in the economy, paying their bill. We are going to lose $4 billion in tourism, just like what happened in 2018 during the worst shutdown we had in 35 years. Yes, that was under Your Highness. Please get your finances in order. Drop a comment below if I can give you more information.
So now we'll start today's lesson. Let's start here first and a quick lesson. So we're seeing right now that the American dream is over. We're seeing that America is finished. You know, make America great again. America would never be great again. This place is finished and you know, it will be totally destroyed. So let's go here. We get 2 precepts. We're gonna close out. Not meant to be a long lesson tonight. Just, you know, I'm just constantly seeing things through the Spirit. In the middle of the Lord, you know, the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of all these impending dangers. Let's start here at verse 17. 2 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 17 said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Verse 18 said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So right now we're at the beginning of what? Of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine, you know, food shortage, you know, starvation, desperation, said great death. You know, those things are going to come a result of people not having their necessities, their support. You know what I'm saying? Their well life is getting ready to change overnight. It's saying the beginning of war. So we're seeing a war war is all around us right now. Venezuela, between Venezuela and America, any given day, those things could go down. Also between Iran and Israel, also China and Taiwan, Russia and Ukraine, and also many others. I think Pakistan and Afghanistan. So we see it right here. We hear it, the beginning of wars. You know what I'm saying? It also said, and the power should stand in fear, said the beginning of evil. So we at the beginning of evil time that we've never seen before. So what shall we do when these evils shall come? And a lot of people, are going to have great desperation. A lot of people going to crash out. A lot of people going to stress out because, they have not received, they have not come under the subjection of Yahweh Ba'ashim Al-Shai. They rejected it, when liberty, was offered to them, place of repentance, they despised it, they cast it behind them. Now they get ready to suffer. That's what this lady in the first video, she's crying and weeping, but it's going to be more to come. Verse 19 said, behold, famine and plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. So right now we're seeing that this famine, these plagues, the tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for a minute. It's time, to examine yourself, get yourself in order, get your house in order. That's where we at right now, because it's going to get rough and rough, and put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. Verse 20 said, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. So a lot of people right now not turning from their wickedness. They seeing it happening. They seeing the things are getting worse and worse. And seeing these scourges are constantly left and right, these birth pain, but they're not mindful. They're not considering the signs of the time. They're going to get caught up in this evil net that's fast approaching. A lot of people are going to be bugged out of their mind. A lot of people are going to pretty much give up the ghost. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's exactly what we're seeing. It's constantly increasing all around the world. We're seeing right now the earth is mourning on what? On every side. We're seeing these things. Verse 22 says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of the famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So right now, we know that they are setting that stage for severe hunger, it's severe famine, food shortage. So we seeing now a lot of people cannot go buy groceries. A lot of people cannot pay their bills. A lot of people have lost their job and don't know what they're going to do. So right now, a lot of people are going to perish. A lot of people are going to die. We're seeing it right now, and also the sword shall destroy. A lot of people are going to take the law in their own hand. That's why right now, civil unrest, civil war, sedition, a lot of these things are getting ready to come into play because they're already setting the stage for a lot of people. Going to have a lot of desperation. A lot of people are going to be hungry. A lot of people are not going to be able to pay their bills. So the American dream is gone. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. This place is getting ready to be a war zone. That's what we constantly warning you about. Left and right, we're coming upon a great economic collapse, and also we're coming upon a reset. That's what we're seeing left and right. Let's go here to Zephaniah. We close out here in Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 1. We're going to go straight to the point. Zephaniah chapter 1, and we'll start with verse 10. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10, it said, and it shall come to pass, so in that day, says the Lord, said that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the sacking, and a great crashing in the hills. So one thing about it, this is describing a great economic collapse. We already know what happened back during, I think, through 1932, the Great Depression. How the stock market crashed back then. Also, we had another one in the '08, but it's going to be far worse. The one that is coming, it's going to be at the point of no return. So when that happens, everything is going to go. The money is going to go. Your jobs are going to go. And everybody, it's going to be a great crashing in a hill, a great economic collapse. We're here, man. So these things are coming upon us at a fast pace, let's see here. Verse 11 said, how ye inhabitants of Mactash, for all the merchant peoples are cut off. So all they that bear silver are cut off. So in Mactash, it is describing an ancient stock market back in the day where they was buying and selling, doing all sorts of things, exporting different things, so it's no new thing under the sun. So it was cut off. So we seeing right now it's getting ready to be cut off again. You know what I'm saying? Your silver and your gold, shall not or profit thee in the day of trouble. So a lot of people right now think they have plenty right now, but it's not going to profit you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not of the elect, it's just you're really like pissing in the wind. You know what I'm saying? All the body that a lot of people right now are afraid. A lot of people don't have faith. A lot of people right now are getting ready to get into what you call animalistic mode. They're gonna be wild. You know what I'm saying? Trying to survive. These things are coming upon us. Verse 12, it said, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled in their leaves, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. So one thing about it, it's a lot of people that settle in their league. They're saying that the Lord this is not going to happen, that ain't going to happen, whatever. Like, we're searching Jerusalem with candles. You know what I'm saying? The ones that that have that light in them, and the ones that don't have the light in them, they are going to be totally destroyed. So this kind of lined up with too. Also Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. You know what I'm saying? You go through the midst of the city. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, and place a mark. You know what I'm saying? The men that sighed and cried. Who signed and cried? You know what I'm saying? Those are the prophets. Starting with the prophets. Also, the prophets, they constantly sigh and cry left and right, excellent Lord, how long? We constantly warning you about all these things that's getting ready to come upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? So right now, a lot of people are not getting paid. A lot of people are not going to work. We're seeing right now that they're shutting down these airports because they don't have anyone to fly the airplane. These what you call these air tower controllers, that direct the planes there. So a lot of major things is coming, but is this all by design? Has it been manufactured? Yes. By who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So right now, a lot of people selling the lease, still thinking that they're a good case. Like that lady, she's crying and weeping right now. You know what I'm saying? And things will get worse and worse. So it says here, you know what I'm saying? Also, we know that a lot of people still saying that, the Lord is, it's not coming right now. This is not going to happen, but it's happening right before your eyes. Verse 13 said, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Verse 14 said, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly. Say, even the voice of the day of the Lord. Said, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So right now, a lot of mighty men, a lot of these men is going to be crying and weeping, travailing like a woman with child. Also these women, because they're not going to have any helpers, no one to help take care of them, to provide for them, to guide them, And that day, a lot of women's going to get in line, hey man, these things are right here, right before our eyes. So these men, these grown ass men, they can be crying bitterly. Oh, help us, Jesus. But Jesus will not help you in that time of trouble. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people right now are beginning to find out that Jesus is not his name. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you got to know the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? He is, he exists. You know what I'm saying? That Most High and the one that ignorantly called Jesus Christ, Yahushua, mean that he saved, he delivered. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua Hamashiach is getting ready to return. A Negro man from the tribe of Judah, not no looking like a white hippie. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. Verse 15 said that the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, said, and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, and a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So the Lord is going to return in the midst of World War III. That's why the Lord said, look to the brightness of my coming. So the Lord is going to come in the heat of the battle, coming to deliver and also destroying, the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So these missiles already going to be shot off. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, the Lord is going to deliver the elect. So we don't have anything to worry about. So it's going to be a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of wasteness. That's what we headed to right now. So verse 16 said, a day of the trumpets and alarm against the fenced city and against the high towers. Verse 17 said, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. So right now, a lot of people going to be walking like blind men because what they sinned against the Lord, and the Lord is going to repay them. Judgment is now at hand. That's what we constantly warning you about. The Lord's getting ready to make, example, a lot of these 2/3. The Lord's getting ready to come with great glory and great power. Verse 18. So neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Said, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell upon the land. So right now, your silver and your gold will not deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. It's talking about, right now, a lot of people might have pretty much well off, might have money in the bank, 401ks, but it's not going to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. If you're not a part of the election, you're going to be destroyed. And also this money, all this, everything about Babylon the Great will be totally destroyed. This place is going to be melted down with the elements. That's why I said here, will be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. What is that? It's IBCM Milson, also that lazy and chariot fire that the Lord is coming with. The Lord is going to make us speedy riddance, and 1 hour thy judgment comes. So right now, the American dream is gone. We're seeing that America is circling the drain. We're seeing right now that people are seeing that there's no more prosperity, there's no more opportunity here, there's no more to get rich quick here. These things are over. Hollywood is over. We're seeing that these celebrities right now, are pretty much finished. They're losing their jobs also. A lot of them are becoming unalive left and right. So we're seeing right now that things is shutting down. Not a government shutdown. America is shutting down by who? Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is The American Dream is Over. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.